Hello. How's everyone doing? Alright, so I think I've fixed my sound issues for tonight. I think. We'll find out when someone does a thing. Hello, Luan. How you doing? Welcome. A little late today because I took a late shower. So, oops. That's why my hair is kind of still wet. So, oh well. I don't even have anything set up yet either. So I'm not even sure what I'm doing yet. Well, I kind of know what I'm doing. Know what I've planned for today anyway. Yeah, there's messing. Alright. I am using Windows 8, yes. Only because at the time I installed this system, I didn't have a Windows 7 install media. I didn't feel like downloading it, but my roommate had some Windows 8 install media, so I'm like, you know what, screw it! It'll work! And, well, here we are. Oh, let me fix my green screen. Give me a second. Alright. Yeah, and I don't think I'll ever be moving to Windows 10 either. Hello, Ackmaffin. How you doing? Can say a quick hello before bed. Well, thank you. Appreciate it. You have a good night's sleep. Alright, so I was actually poking around a little bit at work, and I found out that it's kind of reproducible to get some weird crap going on here. Turn this down a little bit. Nice on the Ultimate 64 convert to Commodore 64. Not yet. Not yet. So, notice the first obstacle there was the double wide, right? I'm gonna hit select, which is, well, I'll hit select here, which should continue with the same processor. You're not wrong. Same seed, right? But it's a different starting block. The second block's the same, but every time I hit select, it alternates between the two. So that's something I need to fix tonight. I want to fix tonight. So all this learning is not going to waste, right? Well, a friend of mine has a physical TRS-80 too, so I mean, I might try and borrow that at some point and get some things working on that too. That's it's not the same processor, but it's a derived processor. Yeah, right. It's got like a as far as we're aware, a functional tape drive as well, which would be awesome. The thing's freaking massive too. But so far he hasn't been able to confirm that it works yet because he needs like an RF modulator or something like that. That apparently he doesn't have, and it's very particular for that system. So, yeah, what are you gonna know? A non-Commodore 64, right? What is this? Oh. I already had one. Whatever. Yes, I was poking around a little bit at work, and I discovered, you know, the reproducibility of that. So, yeah, we're gonna try and figure that out. And I think I might also split up the game source file because it's getting a little large at 1,100 lines. And it mixes in map generation stuff with player control stuff, and I think I want to separate those out. Order a selection of replacement tape drive belts because you know that it'll be belt driven and the belts have perished. Yeah, probably. Yeah, we might have to get on that, but I don't know. I haven't talked to him in a little while. I'll have to catch up with him. See how he's doing. Yeah. So first things first. Where is my? There it is. Let's just make sure that it's. What's this? Something seed. Starting seed, or something other. Let's see. Dead. Extend, start, loop, start, end. Oh no, it's gonna be in the init code, I think, that grabs the former, or there it is, RNG seed. Explore index page. Oh, here's your index. RNG seed +1. Okay. So is that like not touched then? Well, let's see what that actually is. Anyway, RNG seed. And we're gonna put that over here. X. I got it. I get it. Oh, thank you. 04X, I think. Yeah, because that's a word, right? And this is going to be RNG. Oh, you can barely even. My head's in the way. Overwatch has started an update. No, 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 no. We ain't doing that. No, 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 no. Not while I'm streaming. Stop, 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 stop. Overwatch, don't do that, please. Fortunately, now you can nowadays 3D print everything. I don't think you can 3D print rubber bands though, or you know, belts or the like. Rigid things you can print, you know, until you die. You can print those until you're tired of them. But rigid, but flexible things, I don't know about that. I'm no expert, but I think you might have a little trouble with that. The trick is getting the filament for them, right? Save, run that. Okay. Well, that's a good sign. Select. Okay. You look like a typical nerd. I mean, thanks, I think. Welcome, by the way. How you doing? Just the print elements individually. Yeah, right? Alright, guys. Chair's kind of noisy a little bit. So that's not supposed to be zeros. Let me make sure I'm actually getting the right address stuff here. RNG seed, comma 2. Come on. Okay, so it's not reading the correct address, apparently. Because it's supposed to be showing that, and it's not. My English is not good, but I can understand you. No, yeah, no worries. I try to make myself clear when I speak. I don't always succeed in that, but yeah, if you need me to repeat anything, just feel free to tell me. Yeah, so that ain't right. Why isn't that right? End frame. Draw pixel. Okay, I don't need that. Because that's whatever. Alright, let's just read the first bit of that. Really? Your code speaks for you. Yeah, it doesn't even speak to me, so I don't know how it would speak to you. Okay, something ain't right here. Copy, paste that. Header. Let's put that in there. This is going to be %04x. Actually, %02x, because that's going to be in the 0 page somewhere. Or no, it might not be. It might not be. So we're gonna make that 04x. Enter RNG seed. I broke something. Line 6. Oh, because I forgot the comma. There we go. Okay, something ain't right. Oh! Is that because... Hang on. Am I running the right... No, okay, I'm running the right version. RNG seed. RNG seed. Jojo, hi, how you doing? Welcome. I wish I could just lock it at 2x there, because I keep accidentally resizing this window by, like, 2 pixels. What am I working on now? So I'm trying to figure out why every time I restart the map, that first obstacle alternates between the pit and single wall and double wall. So I'm just hitting select here, which is restart the map with the same seed, but it alternates between the two obstacles there. So I don't know what's going on. And I wanted to bring this up and get the stuff on screen, but that ain't working. That's stuff to get. Oh, not stuff. Son of a. Okay. Well, it doesn't look like it changes in the debug window. And if I go back out to the start menu, it does the same exact thing. So I know it's getting the correct seed then, if I'm dropping out to the start menu, because it's just restarting with that that same seed there. You know what? Let's come over here. We're gonna put this stuff back in, actually. Branch not equal. Okay. Actually, we're gonna branch on well, what are the chances that both what's it? Actually, okay, we're gonna put a check in here, because the RNG seed is 2 bytes long, and I'm only checking the first byte for 0 to see if it's there. But like if someone puts in a 00FF or whatever for the seed, that will trigger the reset for the RNG seed. I don't want that. Could the select button be flipping some bit? The select button, no, because it also happens if I hit start and go back to the start the main menu and hit start again. So yeah. What happened to Go Canada? Now it's Go Lang. From 6502 to Lua in 60 seconds. All right. Broken Lua apparently, because it's not finding this right here for whatever reason. Like it exists. It should exist. If it didn't, it would tell me, right? So doesn't exist, right? Label not found. So it finds the label. See, loaded successfully. So it found the label there, but it's returning 0 for whatever reason. I am like spelling it correctly, right? I was typing it backwards before. Spelling it the same. Spelling it the same over here. Yeah, same over there. Never trust the never trust the programmer. Could you print the address of the address to the console? Sure, let's try that. So that's going to be emu.log log like that. 0. 0. It's coming back to 0 for some reason. Like if I instead do 12. I'm not sure what that is in RAM, but it's something, right? Okay, so it prints out C, which is 12. I don't know the fingers too. Just print everything randomly, and it's modern art, right? Got a desk and now that my keyboard position is moved, I suck at typing. Oh no! Ah, who is this? Deedle, how you doing? Welcome. Thank you for that raid. Appreciate it. What were you working on? I'm working on an NES game, entirely in 6502 assembly, and I'm trying to track down a weird bug that I'm having, in relation to map generation. Hello. Oh, you have? Am I just like not remembering things correctly? Probably. I'm gonna blame that on my own terrible memory. Yeah. See, so that first obstacle there should not be alternating between the double wide and the pit and single wide. Yeah, I think so. Did you guys hear it go off? Because I heard it go off. I hope you guys heard it go off. That's how I knew, like, a thing happened. No? You know... Hang on, where's... Alright, hang on. Should have pendulums. Thank you for the follow, appreciate it. Wait, so that should be an alert here in a second. If Streamlabs wants to do anything about it. Get out of the way real quick. No, nothing? No. So you guys didn't hear that little drawing? Because it should have happened. This is the bit it's still broken, apparently. Apparently. Alright, let's I'm gonna pause my music real quick. Okay. I'm gonna hit a test thing real quick.
Hacker Man. He's the most powerful hacker of all time.
Okay, did you hear that? You heard that, right? Like the audio works, right? Okay. Maybe it's just not above the music, and that's probably what it is. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so it's not above the music then. So I'm gonna put my music down a little bit, bring this up a little bit more. About there? No. About there? About there. Okay. My music is changing the track now. Hey, these are my speakers really loud to hear it. All right, yeah. So it was my music was just overpowering it. So little background. For whatever reason, my desktop audio input on OBS just stopped working for whatever reason. Don't know why. Anyway, I have this other program, this voice meter program thing, that does stuff. And if I just route things through this, I can pick it up in OBS, because that makes sense. So, yeah. Yeah. Alright, so what is the correct address of this stupid thing? This is going to tell me. It's going to be... game, not frame, where's game minute? Minute. Come on, thank you. And it's in here somewhere. Working seed. Where is... Skip energy in it. Oh, because I commented the things out, which is why it's not in the thing. Oh, make... What? Unexpected trailing garbage characters. I gave him 43. Oh. Okay. Okay. So now it's not going to reset the seed every time. We're going to move that code to the title screen, I think. Just 65,536 guesses and you get it. Right? Could there be a bug in MU get label address? It is possible. It is very possible because I wrote that, so it is most certainly possible. Yeah. But I'm looking for it over here so I can figure out like where it is. Because it should be... Actually, I can just... Hang on, I can just look it up in the symbols file. This guy. Right. 6,000. Okay. RAM 6,000. So that's not 0 page. That's in the save RAM, because I want to save it, right? Okay, let's see about working seed. Huh. Okay. Uh-oh. What is this? What? Huh? What? What? It's the tile. The tile is broken. Why is the... Is this something stupid I did in here? It should be this tile right here, number 93. What is it? 8. Something's overflowing. I think. Delete everything. Anna, how you doing? Welcome. Isn't that the save seed, not the active seed, or am I misremembering how it works? No, you're correct. The working seed is the seed during the map generation stuff. RNG seed is the seed at the start of the map. That one isn't touched until the end, until game over. That's when that seed is updated. Yeah. So the working seed, that's in 0 page. That's why I put that in there. That's in 0 page. So I know that the get label function does work, kind of, but not entirely apparently. So let's see. Let's go all the way down here to some data. Let's go to jump frames. Okay, so this should get 77. And print it on the... Okay, well, it gets an address. It needs to stop that from happening, though. Okay. No, go away. Okay. So I can get RAM addresses, and I can get really high addresses in ROM somewhere. Why doesn't 6,000 work? Oops. I accidentally fat-fingered the Windows keyed lock. Oops. Yeah, so let's see if oh, what do I need? I need yeah, calc. 'Cause I can't. I don't know this off the top of my head. Okay. Change your password then. Well, for that you need to like go up through a bunch of hoops to get onto my machine, so I'm not too worried about that one. I'm gonna copy that, and we're gonna. Bam. Okay, so this is the address of the RNG seed. So let's see. Oh, it's read, not read word. Okay. That's fine. Okay. I mean, it's swapped around because whatever. Indianness, but yeah. Yeah, I still saw the keyboard. I'm not too worried about it, honestly. Okay, so why isn't this returning the correct thing for RNG seed then? Is that because it's in like more than one spot? Is that why? No. RNG result, RNG net, RNG seed. Okay. Like, let's dive into this a little bit. Here, hang on. Let's make sure that. Well, no, I'll leave that like that actually. Okay. Okay, it's coming up 0 again. So, open repo. Come on, fetch all. Upstream master. Okay. Gonna kill that real quick. Gonna go over here. Let's see if it still happens at head. So I apologize. This is neither Lua nor 6502 assembly. This is C++ in C#. So you can see my function right here, actually, that I added in there. Hello, Terminal Nerdy. How you doing? Yes, this is C++, and the UI is actually C#. So I found a little bit of a bug, or I think it's a bug. It might be a bug. I don't know. It's behavior that I'm not expecting from the emulator. Specifically in the Lua scripting area, a part that I added in myself. So what I did right here is I just got the latest code from the emulator's repository, and I'm recompiling it here to try again in the latest code to see if it still happens there. So we're just waiting for this to compile. Oh joy, right? 11 succeeded, 1 skipped. That's fine. All right, start. Come on, you can do it. There we go. All right, file open. This runs a lot slower, by the way, because of reasons. So it's C++ is the library that it uses, and C# is just the interface, the UI. All right, go with this. We're going to get rid of all of that. Over here, runner. Is it this one? Nope. This one? Nope. I know why. Because I just opened up the last one it did. So give me that one. Copy that. Paste. And run. Load successfully. Okay. So it still happens. And on the head for some reason. Where's the automatic? There it goes. Okay. Options, video size, 2x. So for some reason it still happens. Yeah, this is running a lot slower. Goodness gracious. Oh my. Well, it's good to know that it's still broken, right? Like broken the same way, I guess. Mia, how you doing? Welcome. Alright, so I think I'll have to dig into that later. Because I don't know specifically how the label stuff works in the emulator. I don't know if it puts save RAM things in a different spot. It might. So yeah, there isn't very much to go wrong at all, actually. So can I? There we go. That works. So yeah, I just basically copied the read memory a little bit, but changed it to use some built-in functions that were there already. Yeah. I mean, I don't code C++ for a day job, so, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if some of this is wrong. I don't think it is. The main maintainer merged it in without saying, "Hey, you're an idiot for doing it this way." So I don't think that's wrong. But yeah, I'll have to go into that, I think, off stream. No, I don't want to save them. Yeah. So for now, I'll just use the number that yeah. I'll just hard code the number in there for now. I'm not clicking that, by the way, because that loads up a state and everything. Still can't get over the arrow in C++. I like everything having periods. Yeah, well, I don't know, references and pointers and all that crap. That's what that is. I don't know. I only half understand it myself, honestly. I like to think that I understand it, but I mean, yeah. Okay. See, if I just use, you know, that, it comes up fine. I can find it fine. Alright, well, so let's go back to the game. Let's go back up to the top and comment out this jump, or this branch, so it always loads up the same thing. Make sure it's loading up the same thing each time we go through the stuff. Yeah, okay. So that's the same. So let's also put the work seed in on that one as well. Equals mu.getLabelAddress work seed. Watch, this one will work fine. This get label address thing. Ladder work seed. All right. 24 work. All right. And work. And seed. Label not found. Okay. Really? Work seed not found. What did I call it then? Working seed. Okay. Got it. Okay, there we go. So it does change to something else there real quick. Speed. Quarter. Changes to a few things real quick. Goodness. Alright. So that changes two things. Or one then. It only had two values in it. That one I think had about three. Didn't it? So shift, control. What's just the minus? What is minus? Am I like an idiot? Yeah, I think I am. Okay, got it. Is that not decreasing the speed? Oh, because it's fine. Whatever. Alright, so I hit select. I think I did anyway. Nothing's happening. I think I slowed it down too much. Select. Okay, so it's changed to 6F5A real quick. And then it changed to the other seed. The 554B. Or 4B5, or whatever. You get the idea. Okay. Select again. Gonna hold select, so it registers. Same thing. Okay. What in the world? All right. Alright, well, we're gonna change this up a little bit. Branch unequal to seed check 2. No, branch not equal to skip RNG in it. So if it is equal, it's going to fall into this, and then we're going to load up RNG seed plus 1, branch not equal to skip RNG init. Like that. Okay, so that'll actually properly skip now. Yeah. Doesn't exist. Check both bytes of the RNG seed. Okay. So we're gonna come over here and have a look at the RAM while it's doing some of this stuff. What should we keep an eye on? Let's see. The first value for working seed probably. 2. Let's put an RNG seed in there as well. 2. Like that. Okay. And we're going to come over to Game Init. Not NMI, Game Init. Drop a breakpoint there. Now when I hit select, it should still go through the Game Init stuff. It does. Good. Okay. So the RNG seed has not changed. That's fine. That's correct. Step through this real quick. Let's bring up this guy as well, just so I can see what it's doing. Not that it's too important for this right now, but whatever. Their sprites. Name table 0, and then 1. Attribute table 0, then 1. Load up some score stuff. Okay. Store FF and column ready. Oh, store 0 and column ready. Right, so this is resetting a bunch of things. Last gen, last buffer, and all that stuff. Last gen, that doesn't sound too right. Hello, good day. How you doing? Yarpka? Yarpka? Yari? Let's go call you Yari if that's alright. How you doing? How's your day? Okay, so it didn't skip the RNG stuff. Alright, it rewrote RNG seed, however. Okay, and it rewrote working seed to be the RNG seed. That's fine. That's good to hear. Alright, then it goes to the init loop. Oh, that's a sprite loop. Seed loop. Write the seed table of the screen. Okay, well we'll still step through a bunch of this stuff, because why not? This is all sprite stuff. So this looks like the main game sprite. Yes, this is the main character sprite. Getting put in starting here, I think. Maybe. Nope, I was wrong. It starts over there somewhere. What is this then? It's a collision. That's a collision. All right, so the main sprite will start there and ends like there. That's the last byte. These four, or the last 4 bytes of the last sprite. So it gets through all those. We know it's okay. All right, so it's all the sprites are in RAM now. Load up 4, put that in temp counter. What is temp counter for again? I don't remember. Load up hex 40 and store that into temp attribute. X and Y. Clear carry. What's that? Where are those? Where are we at? No temp wrap. It's up here somewhere, isn't it? No temp wrap. Okay, so we're ending the player sprite. Okay. Alright, now we're gonna set up the paused sprites. We draw these to the screen and then just hide them pretty much. Well, we put them in the sprite table. We just hide them with palette, I believe, or a palette or tile. Looks like palette. I never responded to how I am, by the way. I'm sick, but otherwise I'm alright. Oh no! Well, I hope you get better soon. Being sick sucks. You know, because I've been there. Okay, so how much longer? Okay, that one's good. So after that, it goes down to. So that was this loop right here that it just did. Next, it goes to some status bar stuff. Okay. So writing the seed on screen. We're not going to see that, though, on this screen over here because of the data scan that I've got going on. Because that stuff in the status bar uses a different character map, essentially. It doesn't use the background one. It uses the sprite character map here. So the top one here I'm using for sprites. This is where we got the paused and the player sprites up here. And I've already got text in this map, right? So I don't want to have to duplicate it for the background stuff. So I set it up so there's a sprite 0 that does the scroll thing to keep the status bar in the right spot. So when that hits, I also tell the PPU to swap which character data it looks at for the background. So then it starts using the sprite table. Thank you for the follow, I appreciate it. The sprite graphics for the status bar, so I can use the text without duplicating graphics there. Oops, I didn't want to. There it goes. Alright, so we're not going to see any of that stuff really. Okay, now it's drawing the buffer. And now we're going to be looking at the RNG seed stuff. So I've got there's a countdown, isn't there? Meta calls to buffer. Okay, that doesn't have anything in it right now. Why did it jump over that, actually? Well, no, it didn't. It generated a column. And then buffered it. Okay, so generate column. Let's go in here. Countdown. Here we go. OBS countdown. We want to have a look at that as well, because that's the next time that an obstacle is up for generation. So we don't want to generate an obstacle every single chance we get. We want to give it some buffer, right? So it doesn't generate like 16 columns of obstacles that you can't jump over. Okay, so we're gonna go back to the top there. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so now after this guy is going to hit 0 for the countdown, and on the next one, the next generate, it should generate an obstacle of some sort. Generate column. Okay, it's double wide. The pit. And the wall. The working seed didn't change, though. That's interesting. Alright, then the rest do its thing. And at the end of the day, the working seed is 4B55. Okay. And it stays there. Could there be a buffer overflow into the area where the first column is stored? The first column? I don't think so, no. Because that area... what's right here? So this right here is the map data. These are the meta columns itself. The column in question is this data right here. Oops. That... Come on. That data right there. Or that data right there. Those 8 bytes. If it were an overflow, or if it were like redrawing the last generated thing, two things. Number one, it should be the last. It should be consistent, and it would be the very first thing drawn. Yeah. Like if this wasn't clear, the tile column buffer, it would draw that first. Wait, finally something useful. How you doing? Welcome. Remy God? Welcome. tile buffer. Oh, this is the tile buffer for what's it? Credit screen. So this is relevant. This chunk. That's something different. This is a buffer for the address for this guy here, 2594. Been looking for someone doing something pertaining to ASMB. I'm assuming it's assembly and low-level programming. Yes, I am writing an NES game entirely in 6502 assembly. So, come to the right place, I guess. Welcome. How you doing? I'm trying to track down a bug that is in my map generation stuff. So this game here, if you're just joining me, is an infinite runner. So it infinitely generates a map, and the further you get, the more points you get, right? You can see level seed at the bottom there. It's supposed to, well, it will change every time you start a new game. Like the current seed here is E259, but I hard-coded it to reset so I can test things easier. And I noticed that each time I start a new game, that first obstacle right there, you can't see me pointing, but that first obstacle right there flip-flops between 2 walls and a pit and a wall. I don't know why. That's asthma. No, whispering into the mics to see, to make the code. Yeah, right. Yeah, maybe I should get some speech to text kind of dictation software going and see if I can code with just my voice. SLR. Yeah. So I saw a video of some guy trying to do that in like Notepad, and I think it was VB or something. But it was a half an hour of him trying to get Hello World on the screen, like the code for Hello World typed out, and it was just a half an hour of frustration, and it was the funniest thing I saw. All right. You know what? Can we get? Okay, so this right here, this byte, is going to be will be a byte we can look at. We can put in our watch to see things a little easier, I think. What if you name a variable backspace or delete? In assembly? Well, I mean, I can't really. I mean, I probably. No, I don't think I can actually. I think my assembler only accepts alphanumerics. Oh, text-to-speech programming. Oh, well then you're just asking for it at that point. You're just asking to have a bad time at that point. For real though, I think you'd have to spell out the word backspace or the word delete every single time. Like you'd have to dictate the spelling for it every single time you wanted to use it. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna hit select. Step through this a little bit. You know what So something I don't do is I don't clear the I don't clear this for whatever reason. I might do that. So in C# you're gonna have a variable name named any keyword if you prefix it with an @ symbol. That sounds like a terrible idea. That sounds like a terrible, terrible idea. PHP's got something similar, only worse. Because they just allow a hex range of characters. And in that hex range is the delete character. So I found that kind of funny. All right, so we're gonna clear out this memory. Right before we start to generate the map, just for kicks to see if it does anything. So before generate whole map, that's this right here. We're gonna clear meta calls. Load up 128x and load up 0 and A, store A at meta, how did I, lowercase, meta columns, right, just like that, yeah, at X, at decrement X, and branch not equal. Let's do that instead, actually. No, what's carrot? That's carrot. There it is. Okay, so this right here will clear out all the meta columns. If anything, Microsoft is very good at backwards compatibility, where they can manage it. Now, outside drivers are another thing. Yeah. Backwards compatibility though isn't. It can hurt though. It can really hurt sometimes. Yeah. Why assembly? Why? Welcome. How you doing, Ryan? I'm running a game in for the Nintendo Entertainment System. You can write stuff for the NES in C, but it's ugly and it isn't really that performant. So I'm running it in assembly because I want to, and I really enjoy it. So yeah, there. Currently, though, I'm trying to track down a bug. In the very start of my map generation stuff. Okay, so that's already going to be clear because it's fresh start. Someone was like paying for square wheels when circle ones are available for free. Not on the NES, actually. Not on the NES. So on the NES, you don't have very many resources at all. Oh, that's something I forgot to open up. That one, and this one. You don't have very much RAM. You've got like 2K of RAM, maybe. It can be extended a little bit to like 10-ish. Or no, not even, like 4K. Excuse me. I feel bad for you. I'm sorry. Don't. I did this to myself. I'm having fun. Yeah, it's an 8-bit machine. So this isn't 65. This isn't x86 assembly. I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole, honestly. For 6502 assembly, this right here is the entire instruction set that I have to worry about. I've mostly memorized this. There's a few that I don't use, like the decimal mode stuff, because the NES doesn't have a decimal mode. And things that like you'll only use once or twice, right? Like the interrupt disable status thing, and unless you're doing some weird stuff, stack pointer stuff. I wouldn't touch 8-bit assembly with a 1-mile pole. Really? I enjoy it. I find it fun. I find it fun. That my end goal here is to learn assembly to be able to reverse engineer other NES games, and find exploits in them to use in tool-assisted speedruns. Ways away for now. Well, actually, that's not entirely true. I can start reverse engineering things. Then again, I'm a web dev that works with JavaScript front end and back end. So yeah, I loathe JavaScript. I hate it so much, so much. Yeah, and it honestly is good exercise to program with constraints, right? Like for instance, in any higher level language, depending on the language anyway. Like for instance, VB really holds your hand in regards to a few things. JavaScript a little bit too, where it does some typecasting and all that kind of crap. I also know Java and C++, but I don't use them for much nowadays. No. I'm not a fan of Java, to be honest, but that's mostly like the ecosystem around Java, and I don't like it too much. For a day job, by the way, a little bit of background. I do C#, VB.NET, and some SQL. I enjoy C#. C# is nice. But I can't write C# for the NES. But yeah, it's nice having to do everything yourself. So there's no like array.sort in assembly. There's no on this processor I'm using. There's no multiply function, so I have to do that myself by hand. Like either a multiply table. There's no divide either, so I'd have to figure out a divide table or a multiply table and like pre-calculate and store the values in a table for me to look everything up. But yeah, so it helps me in problem solving, right? And figuring out how to do things the hard way. Yeah, because I don't have a library to do it for me or whatever, you know. And I enjoy it. I really enjoy it. It's better. It's a good break from the monotonous stuff I do at work. That's take the data that's over here, put it in the database. Then we're gonna take it out of the database and put it on a web page. So that's just not that interesting to me. Once WebAssembly frameworks are here, you can use other languages for web dev. Yeah, so WebAssembly looks really, really promising. The only gripe I have with WebAssembly is that it still has to be bootstrapped in JavaScript. Like, WebAssembly can't start without JavaScript, and it can't touch the DOM at all. It has to go through JavaScript to touch the DOM, and I don't like that. I don't like that at all. But one of these days, maybe. One of these days. The DOM part is for security. But it's still going through an interpreted language, and it's still running in a VM. It's just a different VM, essentially. Well, it's the same VM if you're using asm.js, I think it is. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, though. Web browsers are some of the most complicated pieces of software out there. I think the only thing that's more complicated than web browsers at this point are actual operating systems, and maybe Emacs. I don't know. Blazor WebAssembly C# hides the JS interop, which is nice. Yeah, so with Microsoft, they love hiding the JavaScript behind their own black boxes, and I can't stand that. Computer manufacturers will never make money anymore because their products last so long and don't need updating as much anymore. JavaScript developer, hold my beer. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. OSs and old mainframe programs. I forgot about those. I forgot about those. Yeah. But for an OS, what do you need? You need a network stack. Okay, fine. You need video stuff to display things. You need a rendering engine. You need a parsing engine for at least 3 separate languages: HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. You need a VM for the JavaScript. Yeah, Windows 10 is the last version of Windows. The last version of Windows. They're moving to a rolling release, which is fine. I actually agree with the rolling release model. I've got a Linux machine over there, that's plugged in. That's on a rolling release. It's Manjaro, which is Arch based. Yeah, rolling release makes sense and is nice, but there's benefits to both ways of doing things. How is my COBOL at work? I haven't started it yet because I haven't gotten a chance to start it yet. We've been busy. The oh, that reminds me actually. So I think this at work an internal release is this coming Thursday, which means overtime for me. So I might not be streaming on Thursday. Details will be in Discord. I'm not sure yet. This is taking a long time. Yeah, well, they pushed it back, thank God, because it was like 2 days before the Christmas break, which is a terrible time to push a release out. Yeah. I know how to convert base 10 to binary to hex and back. That's it. So I had to figure that out the long way. Utils, I think it's in. Is it in here somewhere? There it is. Here. So this is my binary to hex. That's hexadecimal text values. So that takes in a byte and dumps it to their hex values, which is what I use for specifically the current seed on screen. And there's another one that's somewhere that does it to base 10 instead. I think. Or no, that one takes it from base 100 and puts it in base 10 and then to ASCII. So that's somewhere else, I think. That's not here. That's in the game part. But yeah, so I had to figure out base 10 to binary, or binary to base 10 rather, in assembly, which is fun. Because there's no, like I said, division or anything. Pseudo assembly? Ugh. Math was interesting, but the language stunk. Yeah, forgot what language it was. Pseudo assembly. So there is one assembly language that I'm familiar with. Rather I know of that doesn't have hardware implementation. It's used for learning things. So it has like a whole VM and whatever. It's got more instructions than 6502. I think I saw someone programming it in it on stream at one point. Don't remember who it was or what it was. Yeah, some academic assembly. Have to dip, cool content. All right, thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it. Okay. All right, thanks for that. Yeah, so my schedule is down below. I might not be on this coming Thursday. We'll see. Details in Discord if you want to join up on that one. Streaming Elements has been spamming it, but in case you missed it, there it is. All right, where was I? Oh yeah, so it's on the pause screen. Well, not the pause screen. It's on this screen. Okay. I have spawned in Discord. Awesome. Yeah, so I post not for stream and whatnot on there, and sometimes rant and whatnot. So glad to have you. Not any of this. I can't. I'm fat fingering with the mouse. That's been happening more and more recently. Does that mean I'm getting old? That sucks if so. Okay. So let's see what happens now. So we're gonna come through here, and it should a little bit here. After all that stuff, let's just scroll down to seed. No. Oh, so it's gonna be like right there because it's unnamed loop. That. Right, and it works backwards because it's faster that way. Cause shut up. I did the same thing for what's it? The palette in the NMI because it's faster to work backwards through a loop instead of forwards. Because I don't have to do a compare instruction at the end of a loop, which is a few cycles. And that doesn't matter here, but that matters a lot in the NMI, where I only have a handful of scan lines to do anything. Okay, so now it's all zeros. What do we got? We got the pit and then the wall. Okay. Gonna hit select. I'll do the same thing again here. I wasn't paying attention. What was that? That was the pit and the wall? No. That was the regular ground. Okay. F5. Does it not? I removed that, didn't I? That's the ground again. I should really probably start paying attention to what I'm doing here. Draw a whole map. Okay, right there. That's the one I want. Select. Okay, and then you know what? Let's check on there. Bam. Okay, so cleared it. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What? Because I uncommented the thing, So it always uses a different seed. Okay, we need to change that. Title. No, it's gonna be in runner actually down here. I think. Actually, how did I set up the title stuff again? Because I want to reset the Actually, no, let's just do it on the title load. Init title. We're gonna rewrite or reset the seed. So we're gonna move this stuff over here, like that. Okay. So what this means is I can verify that the game over code works. In setting the seed stuff, or rather not setting the seed stuff, I guess. Okay. 5A6F. So that should always say 5A6F on the title screen now, because that's what I'm setting it. So I'm gonna hit start. Cleared everything. Okay. Exit. Double wide. Start. Cleared everything. Pit and the other stuff. Okay. 4B55. Okay, let's... Okay, so the working seed at the end is different. Calls the buffer obvious countdown. Does it not reset those things? Obvious countdown's at A. Countdown at A. Yeah, so I think I'm like not initializing something correctly. That's what it feels like, you know? Okay, so draw home map is right here. Generate column. Let's go over here. Generate column. Come on. Branch and equal to do RNG thing. Do RNG thing. Okay. RNG flip flop. That's what it is. Okay, so the RNG flip flop is for looking at two halves of one of the bytes for the RNG. Okay. Okay. So that's what I need to set. Alright, start game. Oh, because it changed where everything was. Alright, double wide. Select. Double wide. Beautiful. Fixed it. Fixed it. We got it. We got it. There we go. Alright. Alright. Yes, let's go back over to the title. And we're going to remove this. Like that. I saw but didn't understand. Okay, so a while back, like last year sometime, I changed a little bit of the map generation stuff. So before I changed it, it took the last 8 bits of the RNG seed. Of the first byte of the RNG seed. So in this case, it would be 5A, right? So it took the A out of that, right? And it used that to look up all the way down here. It used that to look up in this table right here, the meta column definitions, right? And every time it generated something, it would flip between the last 4 bits, or yeah, the last 4. Yeah, the last 4 bits and the first 4 bits. So the first time it would get the 5A, and the second time around, which is me restarting, right? Restarting that map, it would get the 5 out of the 5A. So it flip-flop between the 5 and the 5A, which are different things on this table here. So 5 down, that's the 6th one down, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that double wall right there. An A is 10, so 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and the pit. It would be the 11th, actually, wouldn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, A. I'd call them wall. Because I should have gotten the pit wall. Where is that? Pit wall right there. What number is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, that's the 5. Wait a minute. No. You get the idea. At any rate, it was grabbing the alternating whatever on that. The alternating bits on the RNG seed. Yeah, so I'm still only using half of the RNG seed for anything. The other half of the RNG seed I might still use for stuff. I don't know yet. One of them might be how long to go before generating another obstacle. More lava, right? So currently, oops. Oh yeah, it's right here actually. The OBS countdown. I am always setting that to 5. Right there. Which I don't want that actually. I don't want that a solid number. I want that to change variably, right? So I want it to have at least 5 tiles of no obstacle. Then a variable amount, a random amount of tiles with no obstacle before the next obstacle comes in. Yeah. So, you know what? Let's just do that now. Let's just remove that. And then over here, we're going to load up RNG result +1. We're going to AND that with 0F to get the last 4 bits, which is going to be between 0 and... You know what? Let's drop that down a bunch, actually. Let's get like 8. Right? So we want 7 then. Okay, we'll AND that with 7 instead. Yeah, and I'm gonna store that into OBS countdown. So that right there. Oh, let me actually commit this other stuff first. Hang on. Where is my commit window? I don't have it open. Okay. Commit. Game. What is all this other stuff changed? Oh. Whatever, I'll get back to that. Game. RNG flip-flop. Stage that. Nope. Okay. Reset RNG flip-flop on game init. Or in game init. This fixes some RNG with the map generation. I'm gonna have to add a committing one, aren't I? Yeah. The flip-flop between and the RNG seed. Oh, the flip-flop handing the RNG seed be between 0, F, and F. 0 was never reset. Throwing the generated obstacles out of whack. Apparently I can't spell whack. Alright. Give fire to the pyro. He should have not made the command. I mean, whatever. There's worse commands I can put in there. Oh, so I forgot about that stuff. That's some stuff I want to do on the seed screen. Yes, so I did add some notes off stream the other day. Oh, so I don't need to actually do this anymore. So that I can get rid of. We'll get rid of that in a second here. Because that just wastes cycles that don't do anything for us, right? Where is it? There it is. Yeah, so this doesn't need to happen anymore. Well, it didn't really need to happen in the first place, because it didn't change anything. So about that, I think it changed something. Yeah, I see that. I see that it's all the same. It's probably that change I just did down here, honestly. This right here. Oh wait, is that the RNG thing? They're both of them. Okay. We're just gonna load up again 5 because we had that before. Put that in the countdown. Obvious student? No, obstacle. Obstacle. What was that? I made it worse somehow. How? Why is that garbage now? Like what? What? I'm confused. Please countdown as A. Monocols to buffer. 80 monocols to buffer? Is that ever cleared? No, it's not. Undefined. Monocols to buffer. Wait. No, I put this somewhere else, don't I? No, I don't. Huh. Okay. That's different. Hello, how you doing? Raw Rito? Welcome. I broke things. I do not understand how or why, rather it's broken. Okay, let's undo this. Let's undo that. I'm gonna reset that stuff. Okay, that's all common stuff. I'm doing alright. Can't complain too much. Okay. Load file. Make. Okay. Where's my window? There it is. Control Y. Okay, let's have a look at memory right now. Memory is all random. That's fine. This is not Z80. No, this is 6502. So it's not... It's close. It's close. Kind of-ish. Same era. Same era. Z80 is actually closer to x86, though. Closer. It isn't the same, but it's closer than what this is. Okay. So we're going to hit that right there. And it's clear here. Okay. It's clear. We're going to drop a breakpoint there. We're going to hit start. It's still clear. Okay, what happens? Why does it break things? Okay. I'm going to move this up here, and then we're going to open this guy up so we can see what's happening there. Okay. So there are a bunch of stuff that's still in the sprites things. Getting the sprites all set up. This one's the start, the pause sprite. Okay, and it loaded up the palettes, which are this stuff right here. Yes, I am writing a game in 6502 assembly for the Nintendo Entertainment System. It has a modified 6502 chip in it. What is this? That's a seed loop? Oh, writing the seed. Writing the seed to screen. Okay, now we're going to draw the map. The anime happened. That's fine, because it goes away. Right, there's a bunch of stuff in the stack, though. Hello, the Gel Mega. Welcome. How you doing? So there's a bunch of stuff in the stack, and it jumped somewhere. Where? What is all this Substar crap? Like, that needs to not be there. Like, why is it just complicating things? Alright, well, it's still... Tile loop. Okay, it's still correct. The Substar stuff needs to go away, actually, I think. Can I hide those? Oh, show... Actually, label this. Show watch breakpoints, call stack. Toolbar, memory mapping. Okay. Performance that different? Kind of. It's a bit of a mixed bag. Assembly can be a lot more. It is a lot more performant if it's written well. That and the NES doesn't have that many system resources, so in order to write performance C code, it's going to look like garbage. And you don't necessarily have as much control on a cycle basis than you do in assembly. So for instance, on the NES, I can count cycles if I really wanted to make things go a little faster. And that might not seem like it matters all that much, but it does. Because I can only draw to the screen either if the screen is off, like it is right now. Yeah, like Link, how you doing? Welcome. He's been writing mostly in C. But for instance, you can write to the screen if it's off and it's not doing anything, right? Or if the screen isn't off, not that one, you can only write to the screen during the NMI blanking period right here, which is when the beam from the cathode ray tube is wrapping around from the bottom of the screen to the top of the screen. So that's only like, what, 20 scan lines? Yeah, it's only 20 scan lines to do anything. And you don't have very many cycles per scan line, I don't think. 340, roughly? No, that doesn't sound right. Yeah, maybe. Okay, yeah, maybe about 340 cycles per scan line. So that sounds as an argument from C versus almost everything else. But it's a heck of a lot more noticeable on the NES because of the limited resources. I guess because of limited system resources. For me, not necessarily. For me, I want to actually learn the assembly so I can reverse engineer other games. And you can't reverse engineer other games if you don't know assembly, essentially. Yeah, 113 and a third CPU cycles of scanline. Really? All right. Well, I'll take your word for it. That puts it down to, where is it? Right about here on the graph. Reverse engineering is also an extremely great argument. Yeah. Okay, I'm crazy. This is a compliment. Well, thank you. Thank you for the compliment. Yeah. So if any of you guys have heard of Seth Bling, he's a bunch of my motivation for learning. So he's the guy that that worked out how to rewrite Super Mario World to be a different game with nothing but controller inputs. So yeah, that happened. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. But yeah, so I enjoy it at any rate. I really enjoy it. Oh, that's right. I wanted to see if I could shut that crap off. Options, copy options, no. Colors, autocreate jump labels. Turn that off because it was broken apparently. Partial frame, instruction progression. What is? Oh, is that whatever the crap that was? Okay. Is that like the cycle for the instruction? I guess? LDX something something. Bytecode A6. Alright, let's see how many cycles that is. LDX. A6. 3 cycles. Okay. So that's the cycle count right there for that instruction. That's nifty. That's nifty. Thank you for the host. Appreciate it. Or host. Follow. Thank you for that. That's nifty. I don't think I can stop within a cycle though. Like I don't think I can step step a cycle. Can I? Run 1 PPU cycle. Oh. F6. Oh. Oh. Okay. Yeah, I can step PPU cycles. That's amazing. Yeah, some instructions do have a variable cycle count depending on if they cross a page border, if I remember right. Mostly the index stuff. Yeah, add 1 if page boundaries crossed. Except for this guy here. The indirect X. Yeah, the PPU runs 3 cycles per the CPUs. Yeah. Yeah, I just wasn't really aware that I could step through PPU cycles instead of instructions. I don't... Is there a use for that? I don't know. A branch taken penalty. Really? For the branch stuff? Yeah. Again, it's crossing pages. Or do you mean like if the branch is taken, it takes those 2 cycles? Otherwise, it doesn't take those 2 cycles at all. Does that make sense? Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah, otherwise it would just Yeah, it would just skip that, right? This is probably finicky raster effect things. Of course it'd be raster effects. Why wouldn't it be? Also seems nice that it's quite limited instruction set. To currently implement my language using LLVM, since the first thing I'm working on, since I first want working compilation before writing my own x86 backend. Yeah, so that's one thing I really do like about 6502 is that there's a very limited number of instructions, and a lot of them are mirrors of each other, like increment and decrement. They're the same thing but opposites. Let's see, the load X and Y are the same thing but for different registers, you know? A branch instruction takes 2 cycles plus 1 if a branch is taken, plus 1 if it crosses a page boundary in the taking. Okay, got it. Got it. That makes sense. That does make sense. Okay, so we're... Oh, that's sprite stuff. Okay, so we're looking through this stuff over here. Oh, and we're deep inside of some generation code. There. Okay, there we go. Now we're back out at the top loop. 2 and 4 cycles. Easy to learn and master. This one, it's not too difficult to learn. It's harder to get your head around the ways you have to program things more than the instructions themselves, I think. For instance, there's no like simple while loop or a for each loop, right? You have to write that stuff yourself with compares and branches and index registers and all that kind of stuff. I like how easy it is to read. LDA is A, LDX is X. Yeah. I think I missed a comma. No, that's fine. Oh, easy to learn, hard to master. Something like that, yeah. JNZ? No, what is that one? Jump, or that's not 0, right? Jump on not 0? That's BNE. Or, yeah, BNE, branch not equal. Mastering anything related to programming is quite difficult, especially performant code assembly. Yeah. Yeah, so it's branch, not 0. So it's a branch function. Yeah, so in fact, that's what I do with during the NMI. Game NMI, right here. No, not the game NMI. It's actually in the main NMI, I think. Yeah. Well, it's different instruction, but the same idea. So I load up a number into the index register, and I do a bunch of things with that index, and I decrement it each time, right? So I load up 31, and I decrement it 4 times per loop. And this one is just saying, hey, if the value in X is positive, so that's 0 and up, including 0, go back to the top of the loop. Once you go negative, or 255 in this case, break out of the loop. So that's what you're thinking of right there. It doesn't include loops. My assembler for this PC engine does have simple loops. Does it? Is that macro level? Because this does have macro level loops. I don't use them though. Essentially, just unrolls your loops. It's like a .times or something like that. 65.github.io, I think. There it is. Documentation. CS65. Is it here somewhere? Scopes, models, pseudo functions. It's like a repeat, I think. Ref reference, right? No. T count? No, not that. Well, you get the idea, though. It's in here somewhere. Oh, If local list. These are all compile time things, though. A lot of these are anyway. ST, no. Where's R? Repeat, there it is. Hey, just joined. What's happening? How you doing? Fabulous. I'm trying to debug why things are just broken. But I got a little sidetracked talking about assembly here. Sweet 16 mode, they gave it a nice name. What's the game about? So, let's see if I can get this into a working state real quick. I'm going to stash all my changes. Stash everything. Okay, so that undoes, like, all the code changes I've got. I'm going to cross my fingers and see if this actually does a thing. So we're going to cross our fingers here. Hit start. Oh my goodness. Okay, so so I know that the error is somewhere in that stash then. That's good. So it is a infinite runner game where the map generates based on a seed. So this window that I popped up right here, this is the video RAM essentially. So you can see it generating a map on that lower screen there, and apparently just breaking other tiles, which is fantastic. So yeah, you just try to stay alive really long. The longer you stay alive, the higher your score is, and each level is auto-generated based on that seed at the bottom there, the level seed. So I've got a long ways to go. I haven't done any graphics for this game. Like everything you see here is placeholder graphics. How long does this take so far to develop? I'm curious. I started in October, and I did this pretty much entirely on stream, with some exceptions with figuring out how I wanted to do things. Like one that comes to mind that I did recently, not the seed one, scores. Storing scores, high scores. I took a lot of notes and figuring out how I wanted to do that. Yeah, it's the no internet dinosaur, but on the NES. Exactly. The T-Rex game on Chrome when you don't have any internet. It has that little game thing you can play. It's essentially that on the NES. So for conditional branch, I can do something like CPX number F1TC. Oh, good. You and your freaking fourth. Some of the a B&E for the equals 0. A BRA not available. Thanks. The 6502 because the CO2. I added in the CO. Oh, well, that's lovely for the else. Backwards loops are similar using begin condition while construct. Or did he use until? I think Perl has until and unless. Those two keywords, which are nice. I just need some dinosaurs and the crunching mechanics, and you have the Chrome game. Yeah, right. Very close to my day C#. Oh yeah. Sure. Yeah. The stuff I do during my day job is kind of boring compared to this. Actually, it's a lot of fixing really terribly written code. Like, I kid you not, some of this code that I've gone through is like text value equals some control dot text, right? Then underneath that we got an if text value equals, this is VB by the way, so it's single equals the text of true, then do a thing. Or no, it wasn't even the text, it was like the enabled or something like that, or like checked, right? Which is a Boolean thing in Visual Basic, right? It's a Boolean value, but they check it against a string, and then they do a thing here, and it was just god awful, and copy pasted, like, I kid you not, at least 50 times on a page, and I wanted to strangle the person that wrote it. The only thing that stopped me from doing that is that person lives up in a different state, so they're far away, so I couldn't go and strangle them. All right, so whatever broke is in the stash, which I think narrows things down a little bit. All right, load file. Load file. That's artistic code. You didn't get him. Artistic, yeah, okay. Artisanal code. I'd like to shake this guy warmly in the throat. Yeah. Exactly. That's yeah, exactly. You get the idea. Shake him warmly in the throat. Reload that. Alright, let's see what happens now. Let's have a look at this as well while we're at it. Start. Oh. What? It's working now. I need to fix the collision on the pits, but whatever. It still works. Like, he was giving some weird crap before. Was that because, like, I wasn't resetting the console or something like that? Is that what that was? Yeah, lots of copy paste. I was helping my friend with our C project we had for class. He had about 15 oh my goodness. He didn't want to because he didn't know how to. Well, that's why you're in class. That's literally what class is for, is to learn things you don't know yet. That's their entire purpose for existing. Fun time trying to read that. Yeah. Can't compare to strings yet in my language, but the compiler will be confused about what you're doing. Still not that as artistic, right? Yeah, that's one thing I don't know. I don't really have to worry too much about in assembly because everything is a number. Because everything's a number. Strings are only strings because I decide they're a string, right? I do have like some points at some points where I'm like on the title screen, for instance, I have some data down here that uses strings, right? Like current seed, that's a string, right? Or runner, that's a string, right? No, that's a list of bytes is what that is. But I just set up my font to use the same values as the ASCII values for those characters. So it tricky, but it matters. Yeah, ASCII is numbers, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. But like I can't define like a thing as a string, for instance, in assembly. It's defined as bytes, you know, or it's defined as a word, which is 2 bytes together, smashed together like that. Well, it takes endingness into account, but whatever. I always wonder why they take a week to make the project. Don't want to brag, but I take 4 hours alone. No, I don't really consider that bragging, honestly. Back when I was in school, some of the stuff. Have I tried Emacs? No, I have not. Hello, by the way. How you doing? Welcome. Luxury. Back when I was in school, we had like an intro to programming class, right? And the language that we were using was QBasic, which is Quick Basic, a flavor of Basic that ran in DOS. And it was like a 2-hour, I think, 2 or 4 hour class. I would show up late all the time. One day I showed up late halfway through the class. Like, the class started at 5 p.m. and then I woke up at like 6 p.m. like from bed. I'm like, oh crap, I have class to go to. Well, I mean, basic is basic, but like there's just some small differences between the languages, between the implementations. So kind of almost. But this one specifically ran in DOS, so it had some specific like DOS printing and DOS input type commands in it. But so it's same otherwise. But yeah, so I walked into class that day. I'm like, sorry, I'm late. And the teacher's like, yeah, whatever, just go sit down. But every day, all day, I would just play Wolfenstein 3D in class because I finished whatever project or assignment we had to do within 5 minutes. Kind because like it was really easy for me, because at that point I had already written plugins, like entire plugins for a CMS system in PHP, right? So I knew like how loops and variables and crap worked. No one else in the class apparently did. So, yeah, it's a bit of a filter class. A lot of people changed their ideas of what they wanted to do after that class. And GW Basic or something. I don't know. So Basic started out at a school, like many things usually do. I forget the guy's name that actually invented it, but Microsoft made it popular. Yeah, my friend even has a book that's a programming manual for Basic, but it lists it as Atari Microsoft Basic, which I find absolutely funny, hilarious. Yeah, but the basic language is an interpreted language that like is on all kinds of systems. Like even the NES has a flavor of Basic. It is only sold in Japan, but it even came with a keyboard and everything. Maybe that sounds familiar, Bridgewater, Dartmouth. But yeah, so even the NES had a version of Basic, which I find amazing and hilarious at the same time. But unfortunately is only released in Japan, which makes me sad. Oh, well, that's cool. All right, thank you. Go. And it only works with the Famicom, unless you want to grab a solder iron and get to work on the adapter, the expansion port on the bottom of the NES. You take me back to my childhood, my friend. I've always liked my AC classes because we had assembly, and it was so fun seeing everyone stress out. So I didn't have assembly in school. That was far too low level for us, apparently. Yeah, my school honestly didn't teach me all that much, unfortunately. I most of my stuff is learned or self-taught. Where's the Atari 2600 had a version of Basic? Yeah, I think that was the version I saw, actually. I mean, actually, I think I have it on my Twitter. Hang on. I have a picture of it on my Twitter, rather. Let me see if I can find it real quick. It wasn't too long ago that I posted it. Photos and videos. It was before TwitchCon, though. There we go. So these are my friend's books. 90% failure rate or something. What? I had something in college. A messed up teacher made the exams in 7-bit mode. Made up microprocessors. 90% failure rate. Goodness gracious. So yeah, so I found this at my friend's place, and was unhappy that it was keeping it from me. And then there's these guys. First book of Atari, and inside is Atari Microsoft Basic. First look. Like I never expected to see those words in that order in this book. Our assembly was for CPU made in our university. Okay, at a reduced instruction set. So a RISC CPU. I made an emulator in C because I was sick of the old one we had for Windows. Still have it on my GitHub. Nice. But yeah, so I mean, you know, everything's got Basic. Yeah, the graphing calculators have Basic. I have one around here somewhere. I learned recently that those graphing calculators are actually Z80 processors inside. So yeah, that's kind of cool. What was I doing? I don't even remember what I was doing. I should probably commit some stuff because it's working now. We're gonna commit these, which are just updating notes. We're gonna reset that. Yep. What is this? Oh, okay, we don't need that. We don't need that. That's something that might happen later. Okay. Update a bunch of notes and to-dos. Where am I from? Boston area. Even though it was before I was alive, but there's ones were magazines. Games, just the basic code to program them. Yeah, so it's before my time, clearly, but yeah, programs used to come in like books and magazines that you would type out by hand on your computer. In fact, that's what one of those I closed it, but that's what was in one of those books. Actually, let me bring it up again. I don't know if I have a picture of it on my Twitter. Let me look real quick. Hang on. Because there's one book that my friend also has that I also got a kick out of. Let's see. Ah, darn! I didn't get a picture of it. So it was a book of like murder mystery kind of things, Sherlock Holmes style. So Sherlock Holmes stories. But in order to solve the mysteries, you need to write basic programs. And it like listed out the program or part of the program and the requirements and all that kind of stuff. And it was really neat, really nifty. Am I in university? No. I'm at a uni. I have a day job, unfortunately. Well, fortunately, I have to pay bills and all that stuff, right? He tells us the code for games, played them for 5 minutes and lost all the code. Yeah. It could be 42 and still uni. You're not wrong. No. Mr. Baxter. Bankster. I don't know why I want to say Baxter, but Mr. Bankster, how you doing? Sounds cool. Yeah, so, I mean, we don't have that anymore, because, you know, programs are a lot larger. But, I don't know. But on the opposite end of that, it's easier, I think, to get into software development now than it was then. But I remember all that typing for magazines. Yeah, I didn't have to. I didn't go through any of that stuff. So, all right. So let's see if this still works. Reset. Yep. Start. Let's just die on that one. Good. Die again and hit select to restart the level. Good. Okay, I died there. Yeah. Okay, so one thing I did want to do tonight, or some other things I wanted to do tonight after I figured that out, was number one, switch up some of the graphics for the pit right here. These guys, making them a little bit wider to maybe so I don't have to do some weirder collision detection stuff on them, because I don't want to have to do that. So if I figure if I can visually make the pit wider, I don't have to do the other collision detection stuff and just use the code that's currently there. Yeah, a bit too new for that. Also buying those ones with CDs and split software into like 15 floppies. Get back home, decompress after 3 hours. Something wouldn't work and I had to repeat. Oh. So I think I got the very tail end of that. The very tail end of that. Yeah. I actually have a floppy drive around here somewhere. It's a USB floppy drive. The only reason I have it, by the way, I think I might have lost the floppy. I have the case right here, though. It's Shenzhen Solitaire. If any of you guys have played Shenzhen IO, this is a mini game in that game, and they ported it to DOS because why not? So yeah, it was a Kickstarter, and the Kickstarter was just like, okay, we want some money so we can put these things on floppies and send them out to you guys. Game's already done and ported. We just, you know, give us some money and we'll give you a floppy disk with the game on it. So I don't know where my floppy is for that. It might actually be in that other computer? Or in the floppy drive? Where's my floppy drive? It's not important, but yeah. One day one day people will say that about CDs and DVDs. Yeah, so I mean I haven't used my CD drive since I moved into this place, I think, last year. No, the end of 2017 actually I moved in, so we came a long way out. Software still doesn't work well. Yeah, right. Yeah, and Twitch and YouTube. Yeah. Like, you really had to watch all that to understand? Right, where am I with this now? 4 things out. I'll get back to that. Oh, so Metacosta buffer. Did that break anything? I don't remember. Let's comment that out and see if it breaks anything. Cause that might have been part of it, part of the why things broke. Nope. Okay. Huh. We're gonna keep that in there anyway, just because. Yeah. Because we want to just make sure that that's always 0. Oh, okay, that made me nervous for a second. Okay. Okay. I haven't used this floppy drive in weeks. Maybe it was maybe as many as 3. I used a floppy drive the other day actually, because I finally got a older machine with a floppy drive in it, running Windows 95 or 8, I forget which, 98 maybe, to actually play this game on real hardware and not an emulator, because my computer can't play it because it's 16-bit. Well, yeah, my computer can't play it outside of an emulator, rather. There were no DVDs, CDs. You picked the software you wanted and split into floppies. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, so that still does work, but we're gonna keep that in there anyway. Yeah, to split that 10 gig file into multiple DVDs. Well, DVDs can hold up to 7.5-ish gigs if it's dual layer. So you only need like two DVDs with that. And now Blu-rays can go up to 50 gigs. In fact, that's what I have in my machine right now is a Blu-ray burner that I haven't really found a use for, honestly. Yeah, I mean, I haven't even opened the thing in probably a year or so. My floppy drives, my flash drives, however, are a different story. These things, like, I use all the time. Until I have a machine that doesn't have a USB port on it, like the old thing. I showed it off on stream the other day. But 1.44 meg. That's like the big floppy, the big in software size. Yeah, the high density ones. Yeah. Not the few hundred K ones that are the 5.5, or God forbid the what was it, 8.5, 8-inch floppies? Yeah, like 750-ish, I think, probably somewhere around there. Somewhere around there. Yeah, whatever it is, it's laughably low compared to today's standards. But yeah, even 750 kilobytes is, well, it's not out of the question, but it's large for the NES. No, not the high density disc from Star Trek 2S, but the SSDD 5.25-inch ones. Yeah. Even that, yeah, was high compared to a single density disc. Yeah, so the 5.25 were some of the smaller size wobbly ones, but the 8-inch ones were the big wobbly ones. I didn't have any of those. I actually had a computer with the 5.25s, with a bunch of games on it. I don't know what happened to it, and I don't specifically remember what computer it was. I think one of them was an Atari. I think. What are the models of the Atari? Atari 8-bit family. If I see it, I think I'll remember it, but... Anyway, I had one of those things as a kid that had games on it. I had a little one, three and a half, and I think it also had a 5 1/4 floppy drive on it as well. Star Trek had 3.5-inch data cards that were basically floppy disks. TNG had isolinear optical chips that were basically USB sticks. This almost makes me feel old. Yeah. Okay, so this is... Oh, I'm gonna just stage this one for now. Clear meta calls to buffer in game init. Doing this doesn't seem to break anything, but we're keeping it in there for good measure. Commit. Have to go. Just saw you were streaming and decided to pop in. All right. Well, thank you for stopping by. You have a good night or day, depending on where you are. Yeah, hope to see you again. Schedule's down below if you haven't seen it already. I might not be streaming on Thursday. We'll see. Updates will be in Discord. That's been spammed by Stream Elements. Alright, then there's this one, which is staging that. What was this? Okay, so this is disable or no, remove hard-coded seed. Removed the bit of code that's hard-coded a single seed at the start of the game. Also, check both bytes of the RNG seed for 0. Yeah. For 0 for initialization. Alright, the Jill Mega, thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it. You have a good day, or evening, or night, wherever you are. With that. Okay. And the rest is some makefile crap that I haven't finished up yet. The Lua thing that I don't actually need anymore, but I'm just gonna keep it there for now. And some other crap I haven't finished up yet. Alright, so there are some changes I wanted to do to the seed input screen, which is okay. Alright. I didn't want to see collision not working there for a second. That's concerning. Concerning. Especially when it's hard to reproduce. I'll come back to that, though. If it comes up again. If I can make it come up consistently, I'll come back to that crap. Yeah, so, essentially, this screen right here, if everything is 0, like that, 3, 2, 1, 0, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, like this, it will accept that seed. However, that breaks things, I think. Why is the level seed the same? Wait a minute. Does my enter seed not work? Enter seed. Let's do F. All Fs. Okay, start or A. Okay, current seed is a bunch of Fs. Okay, that worked. Why didn't enter seed? 0, 0, 0, 0. Current seed zeros. Oh, because duh, it initializes it to something else when it's all zeros. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to show an error message or show something on that screen that says, hey, you can't have zeros as a seed. Yeah, and I also want to put in a option to randomize that stuff. False value for not initialized case? No. So that one is actually, by doing that, I reset it to actually hit this code right here, which resets the seed to a known value, which would happen the very first time you start a game up. Yeah. Or if you replace the battery in the cart or something like that. Grab the accept button. I could. Yeah. Or I could just not have A do anything on accept and like do a noise. But I don't have any of the sound engine code done up yet. Right up yet. But yeah, wrong one. I also want a like randomize what's it? Button on here as well. Probably to the left-hand side, over there, that side. Whenever you hit it, it just randomizes the four fields. Yeah. Well, let's go into the seed though, the seed screen, and start having a look. Oops. So I don't remember how much of this screen works. Match details were selected. What was this? RNG seed. Seed input 1, input 3. Oh, so that's getting the. Okay. The current seed and set the value of the sprites to it. Yeah, let's set the input values to it. Input values to it. Update sprites to reflect the above input values. A big one arm for the bandit completely was spinning all the wheels at once. Yeah, sure. Okay. Little cursor sprites, character selection sprites, draw stuff in the background, boxes for input, current values. These are done actually. tells it to do, I think. Or no. Never mind. That's what this is. Alright, temp and Y are indexes to look up tables for actual pixel offsets. Middle, top, bottom. Okay, so that's loading up the actual sprites for these guys. Seed load sprite. What does this guy do? Seed load sprite. A, number to draw. X, the column index, and Y, the row index. Okay. Okay. I like that. Because that means if I want to move things around, I can just change these guys right here. Yeah. Well, it moved the sprites around on the screen to make them like more centered or whatever. Because that's the first thing I want to do, I think, is move it over a little bit. So it'll still look centered, or it'll still look centered the screen. If I put a button on the other side of it. Yes, let's move it over by like what, 4? So let's make this 6, and then this guy is going to be 100. Oops. 100. Wait, no, it's not. No, it's not. Ah, shoot. Wait, yeah, it is. Because I'm moving all of them over by like 4. Like that. So now the numbers will be misaligned with the boxes. Whatever, that's fine. Well, I'll have to fix it, but okay. I probably need to do it by 8. By 8, actually. Yeah. Because that's the tile grid that everything else is on. And notice that the sprite stuff is... The sprites are behind the background, which is intended. Alright, so I need to... 5, 2... Add 4 more to these guys to get it to align to... the background grid. This is a really quiet song, you know? Let's switch that one. Enter seed. Okay. Yeah. And now, let's get rid of that and seed. So this guy stay at the bottom there for now. Draw the thumbs up. That's gonna have to be moved. Oh no, I'm gonna have to. Ah, jeez. I gotta screw with the attributes. Oh, no. That's gonna be a pain in the butt. That's what this is, the attribute stuff. So I'm gonna have to move these guys over a little bit. It's gonna be a pain. Just have to figure that crap out again. So you know what? We're not gonna do that at all. Instead, we're gonna cheese it by just scrolling the screen. Because screw it. I'm just gonna scroll the screen. Seed out of mine. Okay. Scroll stuff right there. Okay. So that needs to be something different. How much do I want to scroll it though? I don't know yet. Let's start drawing stuff on the screen first, and then scroll it. So in order to draw something, we need something to draw. Oh, this is for something different that I was thinking of as a proof of concept thing. over here, open up this program. Basically, make it more like a slot machine. Well, I could. That would require me to be better at art, though. Where is... There it is. Oh, it's going to be background stuff, though, so I need to use this table right here. So this is going to be File, Save Bitmap. Not that one. Let's save it over that guy. Yep. Yes. Minimize. Okay. Runner. Open that guy up. Sounds smart. If you want to draw something, we need something to draw. Exactly. And I will be adding to the... So these guys right here are the 4 meta tiles that make up the map, by the way. I will be changing these up a bunch. Not yet, though. I might get to it tonight. We'll see. Alright, so let's make like a circle thing here. That's too big. Metatiles, another pretty smart one. Yeah, so everything actually uses metatiles in this game. It's less data that I have to store. So the entire 2 screens, right? Oh, well. There we go. Okay, and start. So in 2 screens of data. Did I? Oh, I didn't make it over. All right. That's a thing? Yes. Metatiles are a thing. So I'm going to get an entire screen drawn here. Okay. So I have an entire... Well, 2 entire screens drawn. So this box right here, this different colored bit of it, is just showing where the camera is, right? Where it's scrolled to on the screen up here. The CPU has enough memory for 2 full screens. That's how we get smooth scrolling, because we can update things off screen and scroll to and whatnot, right? I thought you meant placeholders. So the graphics are placeholders, but the metatiles themselves aren't. But the graphics themselves are placeholders. Because I do want to theme it to something. That, in fact, that's why I've got some buildings on the start screen here. Because I was testing out some background stuff. So on the main game itself, I'm thinking of putting like a skyline in the background and just having it scroll and whatnot. Yeah, but so yeah, this screen, a NES screen, is 32 tiles across. Or no, that's not right, is it? Yeah, it is. 32 tiles across and like 30 tiles vertically, right? That's a lot of data to store. That's like 900 something odd bytes of data to store. So the first thing we do is we make everything metatiles. And each metatile is 4 tiles, right? So that immediately cuts the data I need to store in a quarter, right? It cuts it down more than half, right? So instead of storing 4 bytes, I only need to store a single byte of data per tile, right? But on top of that, I'm not updating the entire screen, right? So the status bar end of things, this stuff right here, this stuff down here, that doesn't change every time I scroll. In fact, that doesn't change at all. I specifically scroll back to the first part of the screen to see this stuff. In fact, if I increment the scan line, the PPU viewer shows stuff, you can see that the text is way over here, right? And I'm always scrolled over to the first name table past a certain scan line. Yeah, so I don't need to worry about those bytes at all. And there's also something similar at the top. Anything above this guy right here, I don't need to worry about because I'm not putting anything there, right? So that leaves us with 32 columns of meta tiles that are each 4 meta tiles high, which is what all of this is right here. This right here is the entire 2-screen map of meta tiles. That's only 128 bytes versus the 900 and something odd. 930 something? 932? I think. Is it an implementation of yours or hardware related? This is an implementation of mine for the meta tiles. Meta tiles don't exist on the hardware level. So, for instance, the player sprite is a meta tile, but that one is 8 tiles high and 2 tiles across. So I have to keep track of what, like 16 sprites, 16 individual sprites for that guy. Or no, that doesn't sound right. It's 4 high and 2 across. So it's 2 meta tiles, one for the head and arms and one for the legs. So it's 2 tiles across and 4 tiles down. So that's 8 total meta tiles for that guy. For 8 total sprites for that guy, but it's 1 meta tile. But I have to update all that stuff on my own, and that happens. Let's see, where's that happen? Game frame. All right, it's gonna be like update player, I think. Pause sprites, no start, no wrap. Game not paused. Update player. So this right here is just taking the like an X and Y coordinate. Actually, no, this is calculating jump stuff. Jump frames, because I'm using frames for it. Here it is. This is updating all the individual sprites for that one meta sprite. Let's see what this is. Yeah. Understanding meta tiles. Yeah, so it's a larger tile made up of smaller tiles. Yeah. What is this like for an engine? Okay. Tile mill. Huh. But yeah, so it's the same idea. There's a bunch of little sprites that make up a big object, if we want to call it that. So this right here is the sprite portion of the PPU. So up here, there are the individual sprites that are listed out in memory. Don't know who looks similar. Yeah. But this guy down here is the assembled meta sprite, the assembled character right here, and you can see that whenever I hover over him, the tile up here changes, right? Yeah, and it's only double height, by the way, so it can do the double height sprites that the NES can do. There is a mode on the NES that normally tiles are always 8x8 pixels. Index sprite sheet, kind of, yeah, absolutely. So that's what this is right here. This is all the character data, and I reference this stuff by ID numbers, index numbers. So you notice I have the alphabet here twice, right? Well, tile number 41 is A. Guess what ASCII 0x41 is? Oh, well, okay. It's down here somewhere. 0x41, that's A. Look at that. Yeah, I got it. Thank you. Yeah, so I just aligned text, a font with their ASCII values, right? So that's why I can type out things in assembly and have them actually be that word on the screen, right? But I'm still referencing it by its index in this table here, right? Yeah, there is a mode on the NES that can have sprites that are 8 pixels across and 16 pixels tall. In fact, there is a demo that I put together the other day, this guy right here, that I thought was really funny. So that's one large meta tile right there, or meta sprite rather. That thing is actually pretty huge. It goes right to the edge of the sprite limit for the screen. There we go. So you can see this one is using up all the available space here. It's because the sprites are twice as high. They're 8 wide by 16 high. Yeah, smart man, I would say. Yeah, I'm lazy, really. I just don't want to have to translate it to something else, you know? Yeah, so these are, what's it, like 3? Yeah, this guy's 3 tiles high, or 3 sprites high, but each of those sprites is 16 pixels high, which is double the height. Yeah. This, by the way, is on GitHub. Yeah, let me actually make a command for that, because I don't think I have a command for that. Let me actually get the link first. Oh, I'm not even logged in right now on this one. Repos. NES DVD screensaver. Yeah, so if you want to have a look at this ROM, the code for it, and the ROM itself, it's all up on GitHub there, if you're curious. But was it stream elements? Elements. I always get labs and elements mixed up. They're 2 different things. The executable size of your game. This one I hear is less than 40 kilobytes actually. I don't know specifically what the size is for this guy. Only because NES ROMs are padded to like 40K. Let's see. No, I'll go to the other one because that one uses a mapper and some stuff. But this DVD one. So if I just open that up in this program here. So this right here is a NES header, so that's not the part of the actual game. But here, down to there-ish, down to there, is actual code. So what is that? Length, 2BF. What's that in decimal? 2BF. 703 bytes long for this guy right here. Plus some character data down here. This is the relevant character data anyway. This stuff here. So, and by character data I mean the graphics. So this stuff here, this is the character data. Like that. So yeah, that plus 100 hex. 803 bytes. So that's not very many. As for where is it? This game, this one's a little bit hairier, because I'm using what's called a mapper, because the NES can only access a certain amount of memory at a time. Yeah, no problem. So a mapper is used to access more than 40 kilobytes at a time, right? Or not at a time, but at any given time. So again, the first row here, the first 16 bytes is the iNES header. You can see NES written out there. Actually, can I text size? Is there a text size? This should have been in view. No. Anyway. So this right here is the first page. Down to there. That's 83D hex. Oh, I added incorrectly before. So that's 2K for the game itself. For the game engine itself. Plus this right here is the credit screen. Right there, so that's 5D8 plus 5D8. That comes out to 3.5K. That includes some data, by the way, for the credit screen. A bunch of names and whatnot. And then some shared code over here, which is reset code and NMI stuff, and things to do during the frame, and figuring out the title screen is actually in here as well, and figuring out how to swap around memory is in there. So that's plus C4E. Almost 7 kilobytes. And then there's a bunch of data down here. This is roughly 16K. Or no, 12K, I think, of data down here. All packed in 55 kilobytes. Apparently beat me by a lot. To be fair, though, I mean, what you have is probably on something more modern than a NES. Yeah, so you have to do all the graphics calculation stuff yourself. For me, like, I don't have to worry about really too hard of how to actually draw the sprites, right? So for the graphics, I just get the graphics in a ROM file, right? And I just point the PPU to say, hey, draw this tile index at this X and this Y with this palette, and then it goes and it goes and does it. And that's like 4 bytes that I have to just copy over to the other chip that takes care of it for me. Also zipped. Yeah. And again, I'm using 6502 assembly, not what's it? x86. Did a function for that. Not very far away. Now, like I said, though, I don't have to actually worry about any of that because there's hardware in the NES that does it for me. Same thing with drawing the background, actually. Let me open up my other modern NES. So for this, we'll go over the game in it. And we will come over to here. So to draw a background, it's something similar, only I don't have an X and Y. Instead, I have an index, an offset for drawing the background. Doing software rendering by C. In C, pixel by pixel. Exactly. I don't have pixel control on the NES. I have tile control. So I can only draw tiles on the screen, right? So when I draw a screen, let me start here. And clearing the screen is actually the same thing. So I'm gonna jump into the clear name table bit right here. So I'm loading up an address. Or no, that's a tile to use as the clear tile. So I'm loading up 20, hex 20, which is the space character. Yeah, you work with what you have. I'm storing that, and I'm bidding the status to make sure that the PPU is in the state I want it in. And I'm giving an address, starting at 2000, I think, for name table 0, which is where the first tile is in this name table. Yeah, PPU address, so this value put up here. PPU address of hex 2000, right? So I'm saying, all right, PPU, change your address to this address. So start at 20, and then we also write 00 because it's a 2-byte address. Then we just load up X and Y. Load up A, which is the tile we want to clear, and then we just loop through it. So each time we write to this address right here, the PPU data address, which is 2007, I think. Yeah, oh, it's right there. It writes a tile and increments an address by 1. Right, that address we wrote, it increments by 1. So you'll see that over here, the VRM address that'll increment. And this just goes through a loop and writes tiles. 1 by 1, it writes a tile. So that's 8 pixels by 8 pixels at a time. Oh yeah, picture processing unit. It's the video card or video chip of the NES. Excuse me. But yeah, so each time it increments, it draws a single tile of 8 pixels by 8 pixels. So I don't have pixel accuracy for anything, or pixel accuracy for placing background elements. The ZX Spectrum was like this memory isn't failing. Yeah, I haven't worked with the ZX Spectrum, so I don't know if it had hardware for sprites. A lot of machines of this era did. Like pretty much any arcade machine was sprite based. They differed in how they actually implemented it. Different sprite sizes and colors per sprite and all that kind of stuff. But the idea is the same as how they all did it. Just video RAM, really? Really? That's actually not that efficient in color RAM, 8x8. Alright. Hardware. 16K of ROM and either 16 or 48K of RAM. Okay. Video output is through an RF modulator and was designed to use with contemporary television sets for a simple color graphic display. Text can be displayed using 32 columns by 24 rows of characters using the ZX Spectrum character set. Okay, so it looks like it had a built-in bitmap font. Okay, so this one probably uses something similar to the sprite technology of the arcades and the NES even, or the tile-based stuff. I see a tile-based render right there, right here, in this. But yeah, that is absolutely tile-based right there. Where was I? Or from a set provided within the application. Okay, from a palette of 15 shades, 7 colors at 2 levels of brightness each, plus black. The image resolution is 256 by 192 with the same color limitations. All right. The conserved memory color is stored in a separate, separate from the pixel bitmap in low resolution. Oh, okay. All right. That should consist of a foreground background color. So it's got a pixel level bitmap that you can control. That's like a 1-bit bitmap, essentially, right? And a color attribute layer, essentially. Yeah, so it looks like there isn't any sprite hardware on it. Yeah. So separating the bitmap and the attribute layer, the colors, is also what the NES does. So let me bring up this guy again. So this right here is my character data. And you'll notice that I'm only using 4 colors here, because the NES can only handle 4 colors per tile or per attribute block or per sprite, right? So I can shift through all the colors here. So the grid on this screen right here that you see, that grid is the attribute grid. So everything in those in those squares, which are 4 tiles, 2 tiles by 2 tiles, share the same palette, the same attribute palette, and that's a different resolution than the background tiles. So yeah, it's the same idea with that anyway, separating the color and the non-color stuff. Yeah. 8 colors has 8 colors period and only applied to each color row, the column by row. Yeah. So it sounds like it's got monochrome, but you can change what chrome it is. So yeah, two colors to choose from per attribute block. It looks like, right? Per attribute. Yeah, a foreground and a background color. And a brightness level. Normal or bright. So, technically 4 colors, I guess? Right? I guess? Yeah. Because foreground normal, foreground bright. Background normal, background bright. Yeah. And a flashing flag, which causes the 2 colors to swap at regular intervals. Attribute clash. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I get what it's doing. Oh yeah. Like I've seen this, not necessarily the color scheme, but this look and feel, right? Yeah. So I can clearly see like some of the boundaries for these things. Like this fence is partly it's part blue and white. You know, I think they did a better job on the background here for the colors, but yeah. A lot more limited in the colors for this machine. That's for sure. That's for sure. Yeah. But yeah, I think that machine had a processor that was a little bit more powerful than the 6502, right? The Z80 processor. SNES looks smarter. Yeah, the SNES has some has like 7 or 8 modes, and is a newer generation processor that's based on the 6502, but it's based. Well, it's not based on, a descendant of the 6502. It's like a 65813 or something like that, I think. And even then is modified from that. It's a Rico 5822. It is derivative of the 16-bit 65C816. That was close. That was close. Basically a stock 816. Don't think there's a few differences. Alright, in addition to the 65C816 CPU core, the 5A22 contains support hardware, including controller port interface circuits, including serial access to controller data, an 8-bit parallel I/O port, mostly unused on the SNES, circuitry for generating generating NMIs for the VBlank stuff. No idea. To me, you guys actually know what you're saying. Haven't even thought of these in over 30 years. Well, circuitry for generating interrupts on calculated screen positions. That's something that the NES left up to the cartridge. A DMA unit supporting 2 memory modes. So that's oh wow. General DMA for block transfers at a rate of 2.68 megabytes a second. And horizontal blank DMA for transferring small data sets at the end of each scan line? Okay. That's cool. I can't even understand. Do I remember something at all? Wow. I'm sure it is. I am sure it's useful for After Effects. What else would you use it for? Yeah, multiplication division registers. So it's not in the language itself then. It's implemented in registers then. So it uses a separate unit, an APU for that. Or separate silicon specifically for multiplication, and instead of augmenting the language, they just put it in registers. Getting more VRAM bandwidth, maybe? Yeah, probably, yeah. Yeah. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if it was something like updating the scanline that you just drew. Like, it's already on the screen, so we can change it now, right? Like a preprocessor for multiplication and division, or what do you mean? Or for the horizontal blank stuff? Yeah, exactly. There wasn't there was an opcode space. Oh, all right. Well, that'll make sense then. Yeah, because if there's no space for it, because I'm pretty sure that this processor still uses 8-bit instructions. Like all the instructions are 8 bits wide. A coprocessor. Yeah. That's what I'm gonna guess. Is a math coprocessor built into the chip itself, but accessed via registers instead of instructions. Yeah. Which makes sense if there's no space available. The only available opcode is WDM for future expansion. Yeah, but you would need some sort of like addressing mode for it, right? Which would take more opcodes. This is way geeky. Well, I mean, it's an assembly stream, so I have to be kind of low level. Which is a 2-cycle knob. Alright. Well, no, that's not true, but I love it. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Glad to hear it. Yeah, there's a lot of, like, you know, we're going to make a game in Unity. There's a game engine that does things for us. Or, you know, I'm going to write a website in JavaScript. So, like, whatever. I work on that level at work, and I don't care to watch someone else do that. Instead, I want to watch someone do something interesting. So there wasn't anybody doing that, so here we go. He just showed me. I thought I was low level. Yeah, this is a bit lower level than saying. I did find somebody, by the way, on Twitch that is working lower level than I am. Assembly language is too high level for him. So he was working in Verilog, which is a hardware description language. PseudoKid, how you doing? Does that mean you enjoy my stream because I don't do Node.js? Yes. I mean, it helps. It certainly helps. How you doing, by the way? Did I ask that already? I don't remember if I asked that already. Anyway, I'm getting hungry, so I need to open up my bag of bagels here that I bought today. Doing well. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. I've been making a little bit of progress on my NES game here. Pseudo. Did I say pseudo? Oh, PseudoKid. Derp. The guy's name. Right there. He's in chat. Right above you. He also streams, by the way. Was it the notification stuff, right? Yeah. Have a check out. Or check him out. Yeah. There we go. I lost my train of thought. Where am I going with that? Notifications on Elixir. I got half of it. I'll get it one of these days. Look at it. Some languages, something even lower level than assembler. Yeah. So there's a guy that is writing his own, or not writing. He is fabricating his own digital DAC, so digital to analog converter thing, specifically for streamers, to like with mics and crap. A mixer essentially for streamers, but he's designing the chips on the thing, like the gates on the chips and all that, and you have to do that in a language that describes the chips, right? That describes how it interprets. I don't remember the guy's name, although I'd shout him out if I knew. Let me see if I can. Hang on. Can I just? Can I get like all the people I'm following? That'd be nice. Twitch, why you gotta do this to me? Like it only shows people that like I'm following or are live that I'm following or that are hosting somebody, but not like the entire list of people I follow. Unless it does, and I just don't know where that is. Does it? Is it my settings somewhere? No. It's not there. Prime? No. Channels and videos. No. Auto host stuff and banners. Privacy. No. Notifications. No. Connections. No. Recommendations. Huh? Oh, that's my feedback to Twitch. Well, I think I found something I could give feedback on. Yeah. If I knew, I'd tell you. Sorry, but I don't know. Show more where? Like, the categories I have are live channels, latest videos, live hosts, and live games, and based on your viewing history. I don't have, like, an all. Channels, okay, live channels. Yeah, it just lists out the live channels. No. I don't know. I'll look for it after stream. If I figure it out, I'll post them on Discord if I find them. But no. Yeah. So what was I actually doing over here? I don't remember what I was doing. Well, I missed a jump. All right, that's cool. Am I all committed, up to date? Almost. Oh! I wanted to figure out where, I was drawing stuff. Attribute, attribute stuff. Drawbox. Oh! I abstracted that a little bit. Give it an address, and then draw the box. Okay. The thing about Verilog and VHDL and such is basically designing a circuit within a field programmable gate array. Yeah. What's your program, more or less? Proper load alpha involves a soldering iron. I mean, you're technically right. Which, like I mentioned before, is the best kind of correct. Alright, so... oh, I was... right, I needed something to draw. Wow, okay. I got distracted. Or involves some home chip fab. Alright. That'd be kind of cool to see on stream, right? Someone fabricating their own chips. That's not the right size, is it? Nope. That is, though. That looks wonky. I want eraser. Eraser. There it is. View. Where's the preview? Not the duplicate view. Where's the preview? Preview F7. That's round enough. I want to make this like the recycle arrow thing. Mirror me. Yeah, no worries. Alright. Let's see how terrible this looks. When I... let's get this one instead of weird. Like that. Okay. We're gonna save that. Over here. Oh, bitmap. I don't remember which one is used as the actual palette. We'll find out though. Alright, so this is gonna be what's it? 20 and 30. Okay. So we want to draw tile number 20 somewhere. Let's draw it 3 before this one. So we can load up 21. The value 21, not the memory location 21. Start there. Load up for the hex mode. 89 minus what? 3? 86. 86. Store that into temp editor. Actually, we don't need to. 2006. That. Put 2000 to get the thing in the right place where we want it to be. Then we're gonna load up 20. Store that into 2007. 21. Same thing. Now we're grabbing this, put it down there, but we're adding 30 to this, so that's going to be A. Alright, because 30 is hex 20, right? And we're going to be doing the same thing, only instead of writing 20 and 21, we're writing 30, oops, 30 and 31, like that. So let's reassemble and see what happens. Alright, select, enter. That's not correct. I need to move where it is in the tile sheet, because 20 is the clear character. Space. So we can't use that one. We can't use that one. Yeah. Goodness. Okay, so we gotta move that. All right. Try this again. Not open. Open bitmap. Save that. Reassemble. Restart that. And go back to the enter seed. Didn't try anything. Am I like using the wrong game table or something? What's going on? Oh, I never changed the values in the thing, because what? This needs to be 2. And this one needs to be... Oops, no. This one needs to be 2. And this needs to be 2. And this one needs to be 3. And this one needs to be 3. Okay. Ready for magic numbers. Select enter seed. Oh, I think I know why. I'm not doing it correctly. Like at all. It might wait. Okay, so the first one's correct. Oh! I'm in vertical mode there, aren't I? I'm in vertical mode. So no, I need to write 2-2 and 3-2. And down here I need to write 2-3. Oops, 2-3 and 3-3. So I'm writing the tiles in a different order. And this is also not going to be A6. Instead, this is going to be 8-7. I'll reassemble that. Here. Yep. There we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. Now I need to figure out getting it centered. I think I actually got the colors correct too. Kind of. I mean, it's missing some of the other colors. I think. Like I'm not. It's using the wrong color for something. I think. Oh, it's only two-tone? Wait a minute. It's only two-tone. I mean, alright. So it's using this guy here. Or no, it's using this guy here, which is fine. And it switches to this guy for the highlighted one. I might add an extra... what's it? Color on the end there. Is it 2D? Oh, I can't, because that's... Well, I mean, whatever. That'll work fine. That's all the darkest colors there. At any rate, I need to move that over a bunch. So 6 pixels at least? Okay, so I need to go left 6 pixels. I don't think I can do... I can't. So we're going to go over to this reference. Then we're going to go to PPU. And then we're going to go to registers. And then the scroll. Our horizontal range, which is the one we want, is from 0 to 255. Well, I'm heading out. Have a good stream. All right, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. You have a good night. Or day, whichever it is, wherever you are. I'm pretty sure I asked or found out like what part of the world you're in, but I've forgotten. I'm sorry. Night. All right, you have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. So I need to subtract 6 from 0, have it wrap around, and then use that value on the second name table. So it wraps around to the first name table, giving us -6 on the first name table. Yeah. Yeah. So what happens if I do 0 -6 over here? Beautiful. Yeah, so I don't care about any of those guys. So this is gonna be FA, right? Okay. Give me FA, and then a decimal is 250. Okay, so I need to write 250 to the scroll stuff. 1005. So 250, and horizontal. We're gonna AND that with 3. No, with 1. And then we're gonna start to 2000 because we want the second name table, which is ID number 1. Let's see if this actually does what I think it will do. So I didn't actually check any of that. Didn't do it at all. Bedtime for you. All right. Well, thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it. I hope to see you again. So that's different. That's different. Why is this all? Like, I don't use a sprite 0 on this one, do I? No. Why are the tiles all screwed up? Those are incorrect tiles. All right. Well. It's probably because I am. Well, no. 2000 is the control. Yeah, name table selects. Oh, because I ANDed it, not OR'd. I need to OR it. So it's either or. There we go. Nice, Shane. Well, thank you. Appreciate it. Really do. Okay, reset. Enter seed. Okay. That's good, actually. Almost. Load up. 0. It's X and Y. Or is it X and Y, or is it Y and X? This is 5. Let's see. X and Y. Okay. Okay. Oops. So that bumped it down by a few pixels as well. So it was misaligned vertically instead of just horizontally. There we go. Okay, so now I can add 6 to all of the sprites there on the X. Yeah, all these guys. So it's gonna be 78, and then what? 82. Then 126, and then 150, and that should put those numbers back in the boxes. Right? I don't know why I opened up that window. That was wrong. Okay. What? Yes, add a bunch, yeah. Did I not, like, save that? No, I saved it, okay. I have way too many of these open. Close out that, close out. Close out of, yeah, well. Yes, these are not in the right spot. Position 72 and 96 is not right. It should be 82 and 96. Or 78 and 96, rather. Yeah, 7296 doesn't exist. 72 doesn't exist. Did I not reassemble? Is that it? No. Reset. Select. Enter. What? What? How did it only mess up one of them? I don't understand. It only messed up one. Because it's subtracted instead of added on this one. That's why. That's why. Because I put the wrong value in the thing, so that's why it's gonna... See, there we go. It's better now. It still doesn't look centered, though. Okay, let's pop it over another 6. Why not? Why not? Seed. Again with another quiet song. Why do I always like find the quiet song at the very end? Okay, where's the scroll? $250. We're gonna subtract 6 from that, so it's 46, 44. Yeah. Looks about right, actually. Okay, so let's come over here, and change the sprites again. So we need to add 6 to all these numbers again. 4 and 8 and what's this, 14? No, 12. I'm too tired for this. It's 14. It's adding. It's okay. Okay. It's 34 on that one. That's just gonna be a 6. Okay. Okay. Watch, I probably have that third column just wrong. I wouldn't be surprised if it's just wrong. It's off by 1. Really? Okay. That should just be even, though. It's off by 1, though. I mean, alright, I guess. Or is it 2? It's up by 2, okay. Okay. I can't add, apparently. Apparently I can't add. Okay. There we go. And it looks centered, I think. Close enough to center. Screw it. Alright, what's the attribute for all this stuff? Address 23DA. Okay, so this is a new address entirely, which is fine. I just need to change some stuff. So all these guys get an extra $00 comma space like that. Header boxes. Dot word. SB. Rando. SB Rando. Bytes to be other things, actually. We're just gonna make that FF. Or no, 55. 55. For all of them to be that one. And everything else is going to be 00 and 00 and 00 and 00 with $signs. They need $signs. There we go. Actually, they technically don't, but whatever. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. But up here, store in the temp address. Temp address. Seed attribute boxes. Oh, right, because it looks up the thing. Store the seed attribute buffer. Buffer at X, stored in 2007. Ooh. Ah, here we go. 23 DA. It does not start there. It starts at D9. Okay, so it shouldn't break anything. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Shouldn't. 2 follows. Thank you for those. Appreciate it. Okay. It kind of broke something, but not that bad, which is fine. That's okay. We're doing okay. We're doing okay. How do I know? Where's the game row? Now I have an off by 1 error because I added something to the beginning of that list, essentially, right? To the beginning of the selections, right? So these are all indexed, right? I can't go to the enter. Actually, I'm on the enter right now. And when I'm on one of them, it changes 1 column over. So that means I've got my indexes off by 1 now because I added something at the beginning of it. So to change that, that's going to be in, not the spread updates, that's going to be in, not the NMI, it's the frame. Where's the frame? There it is. The frame. Don't loop, just stop. Okay, so these are the indexes. Okay, I'm using the title index, the index for whatever's selected. I'm using the same one there. That's fine. No, right. So we're gonna increment this by 1 to give that 6, like that. So that should, and on 5 there. So that should get us to select all of them, as well as making the enter work again. The numbers won't work, but everything else should work. Well, not everything else. The rando button won't work because I haven't put that in there yet. Okay, enter seed. Okay, okay, that's good, and that is expected. Okay, all right, and that one does absolutely nothing. So for this guy, yes, I need to swap all those over by 1. Button up. Title index. We're gonna just increment X by 1? No, we're not. I need to realign what these are. Unless title index. Oh, I need to do. Okay, so these need to be decremented by 1. Like that. Oh. No, that one's incremented, actually. No. Decremented. Both decremented. Compare this guy to... No, and, branch on equal, so it's 0, to on rando. Should be down here somewhere. Let's put them right here. On rando. And Okay, so it's not going to do anything if up or anything's pressed, actually. Let's make this one on end. Like that. To either end of the thing, right? So there. And yes, we're checking for 0 or 5. And if it's either one of those, we are jumping to down here. Button pressed. Go down somewhere. Oh, branch equals 0. Alright, now we're going to load up the title index. Branch on not equal to enter pressed. That's going to be this stuff over here. This is that, right? Otherwise, this is going to be rando selected, because tile index will be 0 at that point, and random will be selected. Do rando thing. So that's just going to be the game PRNG. I'm just going to JSR to PRNG for now. That just gets the next iteration of the seed. Yeah. And then we need to go somewhere else. We need to reread things. So let's jump to where we're jumping to. No, we need to JSR to like update sprites or something, right? Or no, we need to do this stuff. So this I'm going to put in its own function to load up a seed. Load from memory. RTS. Okay, so up here, that was up over there, right? Seed update sprites. So I need to do that over here. JSR seed load from memory. Load. Yeah, there we go. So now down here I can just jump to that, or JSR to that, to and from it, and then just go to the update sprites, which is down there. So JSR seed load from memory, right? Yeah. And then jump to end. Illegal addressing mode 364. Decrement X. 380 is probably something similar. Yeah. Whoops. There we go. Wait. Yes. Okay, it is decrement. Yeah. That's fine. Okay. So, enter seed. Go all the way across. We can hit A on that one, so that works. A here does absolutely nothing. Up and down do nothing. That's good. Up and down doing nothing is good. Oh. But A doing nothing is not so good. These guys are working though. That's cool. Okay, why doesn't that other stuff work? No, what am I looking for? Is X screen so large that you couldn't bias a seed and put labels instead? What, here? I mean, it's just easy to do it that way, honestly. Well, that's not entirely true. Oh, this is the wrong file. Seed. Where is that actually? Oh, those are, over here somewhere, aren't they? See, error buffer. I mean, I could have just put one in here, but I mean, that would be just wasting space. Because those are all variables there. I mean, I wouldn't really want to. I don't really want to like just add in extra crap in there just to have it in there to make that correct. It's not that important, I don't think, because this all happens during the frame itself, not during NMI. So I'm not really pressed for time. Or pressed for cycles, rather. So what I want to look at is no random. Is that even? I don't think no rando is used on end. Okay, so that's going to be seed frame on end. That should happen every frame almost. Every frame that isn't in here somewhere. So it says that isn't one of these guys. So it should. All right, kick there. Good. Let me hold over that button actually. Okay, and it should also kick when I select the first thing here. And it does. Good. Okay. Button press has not been pressed. Okay. So it just jumps to the end. Doesn't actually need to update those, but whatever. We're gonna hit A. And then escape to... Okay. It didn't actually update the attribute table there. Good night, Mia. You have a good night. Were you lurking the entire time? Thank you for that. Appreciate it. Oh, you mean like that, Bridgewater? I mean, sure, but whatever. Yes. Well, thank you, Mia. Appreciate it. Okay, so it jumped with that stuff, though, didn't it? Oh, it changed it there. I saw it change it. That's why I say goodnight. Okay, bye. Goodbye. Yeah, sleep well. Okay, so was I just like blind or something? No, nothing works. Because I have A held down. Why did it work once? 921F, okay. What? Okay. 921F. Because working seed is 0. So it doesn't update anything. Because yeah, that's what PRNG works on, is the working seed. Alright, that makes sense. That actually makes sense. Okay, so we're gonna load up RNG seed, store that into working seed, and then do that also for the second byte of that. Come on. Thank you. Yeah, because PRNG works on the working seed. Yeah, so that's what it was doing. I think anyway, right? Yeah, it was resetting this at 921F. That's exactly what it was doing. Because for the PRNG, if the seed is zeros, nothing happens. Yeah. Oh, and that also means I need to take that seed and put it back. Like that. Because I need to get it out of that working seed variable and back into the RNG seed variable, which is where it loads things from, but that's not entirely right either. No, let's not do that, actually. Yeah, let's just go over here. Let's use working seed for this, actually. Like that. And we will put RNG seed, store that into working seed, +1, +1. There we go. You know what? No. Because that will just keep resetting it to the same thing over and over again. We don't want that. Like at all. Also, I'm moving the working seed by 1 each frame while you're on that screen so that the randomizer comes up with better randomness. That could work, yeah. I need to get it like actually working first, though. I didn't trust it there. Where's my... There it is. Okay. There we go. And I noticed that only half of that changes. Alright, what am I doing stupid? It's right here. Right there. Okay. Let's try that again, shall we? There we go. Yeah. So then, at the start of all that, actually, if I just do Not every frame, right? Like if I just do a JSR PRNG right there, I don't need to do that. Instead, now, every frame, it does the thing. Stop that. There we go. Okay. That's good. I think I want to make B clear. Or something clear. I want to make something clear, I think. Yeah. I'll leave that for now, though. Refresh. Well, I'm just going to stage all that one. What's this? I'm going to stage that, because I changed some of the graphics. And I really need to make like a preview program here for this, so I can see at least the current whatever, you know, of the character file. Maybe I'll do that off stream, like a CHR to PNG or something like that, or given like two CHRs, export a PNG. That's the difference. Yeah. Yeah, I need a message in there. Alright, so add a randomizer button to the seed screen. Move everything over by like 12 pixels. By scrolling. And add a button to the left-hand side that randomizes the current input seed. Yeah. Did I ever add the like no zeros? Like, is that a thing that I added in there? No. Probably should have done that, but whatever. I'll come back to that. Okay. The working seed is updated every frame and is put into the input values when the random eyes button is selected. The elegant scientific principle of potluck. The doctor describing the coordinate randomizer he added to the TARDIS console to try and hide from the Black Guardian, who is the embodiment of chaos. Oops. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. What else do I have here? Make file crap and other crap that I don't really care for right yet. Alright. What time is it? 10:30. How long have I been up? Almost 4 hours. Yeah, I'll go ahead and call it now, I think. Yeah, because I'm at a good spot to stop for tonight. I got a bunch done, surprisingly. A little more than I thought I would get done. Kind of. Yeah. I went in a little slightly different direction than I was planning on going tonight. But I mean, that's fine. That's fine. The important thing is I got some stuff done, which is fantastic. Let's see what's live. Shall we? Channels. Bunch of art people doing art things. Someone doing it. Oh, that is art. Okay, I thought it was a game for a second. Till Thursday or Saturday, whichever. Oh yeah, so I might not be streaming on Thursday for anyone still around. I might be pulling some overtime at work because of some crap I gotta do at work. Yeah, details will be in Discord. Either way, yeah. All right. Who do we have here? Oh. Let's go say hi to this guy. Mute that real quick. Yeah, so come with me to say hi. And, yeah, thanks for being around. Appreciate it. You guys have a good night. Where's the button?